or rather, maybe let me put it as a question. It is correct that on top, so had to take into account the applicable constitutional provisions, correct?
That is correct.
And specifically Section 209 of the Constitution, which I'll read out for the record, Chair. It's quoted in the report. 2091 says that. Yeah, I'm waiting for the chair to get to the page. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, I'm there.
Thanks, Chair. It says, any intelligence service other than any intelligence division of the Defense Force or police service may be established only by the President as the head of the National Executive and only in terms of national legislation. And you found that that prescript had not been followed. In fact, I think it was common cause. Nobody, let me put it this way, nobody claimed that there was any permission or establishment of this unit by the President of South Africa, correct?
That is correct. So
the only debate, if any, would have been around whether this particular unit was hit by this section. But otherwise, on the factual stuff, there was no debate, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we know, at the very least, that according to according to Commissioner Godan at the time, in his memorandum to Minister Trevor Manuel, he acknowledged that what in that constitution is called the applicable national legislation would have been breached if they had simply established this within SARS without the involvement of the intelligence ministry, correct?
That is correct.
Yes. All right. I won't take you to that long journey about the manual document because we dealt with that with Ms. Mvuyane. All right. But maybe just for the sake of completion, sorry, Chair. All right. I'm sure the record will come to the correct name of that act. I just don't have it on top of my head. But that the other act or part of national legislation that we had looked at was what I'm abbreviating as the Interception Act. It has a longish name, but I think we said it earlier. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that is the act that deals with, that actually even defines what interception is, but more importantly, says that for you to be able to intercept communication of another person, you must obtain the permission of a judge. I'm just paraphrasing, correct?
That is correct.
Right. So it would be then fair to say your findings covered the full distance, the Constitution, the two pieces of, well, the one piece of intelligence legislation, the one piece of interception legislation, and then the one piece of governance legislation, that's the PFMA, as well as the domestic policies within SARS, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Okay, and again, I won't get deep into all those. And we went in great detail with Ms. Mvuyane through the Section 7.9 letter, and all those issues are extensively detailed there. By the way, did you have time to listen to some of or all of Ms. Mviana's evidence?
No, I did not, Adv Mpofu.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, then that takes away my next question. All right, but well, then you'll just have to take my word for it that we covered extensively the issues regarding the rogue unit. These issues that I'm skimming over with you, we went into much more depth. We literally traveled almost through the 66-page letter, section 79 letter to Mr. Pillay. So I'm not going to deal with those. The only issue that I think, with the permission of the chair, we need to deal with you almost separately for obvious reasons, because Ms. Mviana didn't have complete insight into it, is the IGI report issue. But even that, I'm just going to skim through. And that is because you, unlike her, had security clearance, correct?
That is correct, Adv Mpofu.
Right. Now, okay, this is another area. There's a whole hullabaloo about this. And I think, again, I won't go into the issue of whether or not the public protector claimed to not have seen the report, the IGI report. I won't go much into that. I think it's been now well established that that was just an incorrect piece of information. But maybe just for the sake of completion, can you explain to the committee whether, in your estimation or in your assessment of what was going on for the 6 months leading up to the report, the public protector ever concealed or hid from anyone the fact that there had been an anonymous report dropped at the offices? I'm sorry, a report anonymously dropped at the offices.
No, not to my knowledge. The PP did not conceal to anybody. I remember we had met with the IGI, Dr. Dindwe, and a legal representative from the IGI office. There was no indication that the PP was concealing or hiding that the report had been dropped here.
Yes.
I'm even trying to remember when we met them, had this dropping of the report already occurred or not. I'm trying to remember which, I'm not sure.
Which came first, yes. Well,
yes.
Yeah. No, I can just assure you that the undisputed evidence here, at least, is that, and this comes from a letter written by the minister, I think on the 20th of February, 2019. The undisputed evidence is that the public protector had confirmed, at least to that minister, that the report had at that stage already been dropped. And that is not disputed. All right. Yes, and Dr. Dintwe, in a separate letter, and I won't take you there, also intimated, or at least confirmed, even the date of the report to the public protector. And I think we had a recording that was played here much earlier in this committee, where the discussion also does not support any theory of concealment. All right. Anyway, I think this leads us to something that, as I say, concerns you specifically, not so much Ms. Mviana. You have testified about that you had this policy, which I suppose is the matter of style. It's not a written policy. This policy of shielding yourself from information which might poison your findings. I think that's what you said when you were being questioned by Ms. Bauer.
It's more of a practice than a policy.
Yes. Okay. Fine. That's. I think that's actually a better. Yeah. It's your own practice, or what I call style of. I suppose investigators might have, like lawyers, have different styles of approaching their work. Am I right?
That is correct.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Adv Mpofu.
Okay. Thank you. And you testified that you applied that practice policy, not policy, style, or in relation to the 2014, sometimes called the 2012 report, but it's the earlier report, let's call it that, which happened during Ms. Matansela's time regarding recruitment issues to do with the so-called rogue unit. Correct?
Correct. That is correct, Adv Mpofu. Correct.
Yes, but either because of her position or because of a different style, Ms. Mviana told us that she, on the other hand, used that report and actually used some of the information coming from it, and you knew that she was using it, correct?
Yes, correct. And not only here, I also in the Freire 2 had adopted the same style of practice with regard to Freire 1's report, and the investigator then, Ms. Mandri, who also seemed to have gone into the Freire 1 report, but not myself, because they are the ones who draft and put through information. Yes.
No, fair enough. Thank you. I think that puts that issue to bed then, because I wanted to clarify that the fact that you, as the chief investigator, adopted that practice did not mean that you were forbidding the people who reported to you from doing it. You just wanted to insulate yourself from being, quote unquote, poisoned by the earlier report, correct?
Poisoned is not the correct word, if I may. Maybe influenced,
Yes, well, influenced, yeah. Okay, I can live with that. Now, you then testified that you adopted the same posture, as it were, in relation to the IGI report. Although you had access to it, you elected not to be influenced by it, correct?
That is correct.
So now, okay, this part I can ask you in a leading fashion, because that's the part that I need to get from you regarding your evidence. There was an issue about, there was an issue about access. Maybe let me put it this way. Yes. If go to, I think it's bundle F, item 190. I just want to show that there are two separate issues about access to the report and seeing it or reading it as two distinct acts. Would you agree with that?
Yes, Adv Mpofu.
All right. Now, I think it's common cause.
Just asking for the page number.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. 5814. It starts at 5810. And I just want to, and because I think that distinction was maybe not made clear. Or I wanted to just say there's, at the risk of stating the obvious, there's no debate that you had, because of your security status, you had access to the report, correct?
That is correct.
Just as you had access to the Friday 1 report, but you elected not to look at it, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Now, if you go to at 11 point, Sepo, can you just go to 5810? That's just to see what we're talking about. Go to 5810. Just have a look at that further down. That's a letterhead of the Minister of State Security, and it's a letter addressed to Advocate Mkhwebane. Just roll it down a bit. And just for the sake of, since it's here, although that's not what I'm questioning you about, that paragraph 2 is the one that I was talking to you about earlier, where the minister confirms that during the meeting, the PPSA informed her that a copy of the secret report was purportedly delivered to their offices by unidentified persons, which is therefore patently unlawful. That's what I was talking about earlier. But I'm not taking you to that letter for that purpose now. Can we go to 11.4? That's in 5814, please. Okay, here the minister is basically prescribing how the report should be handled on the assumption that you, and when I say you, I mean you, all those who are legally entitled to have it. But the interesting one is 11.4. You see that she says she wants to know the identities of all the persons who had access to or sight of the report. So she distinguishes between access to it and the sight thereof or the reading thereof. At the office of PPSA must be furnished to the acting director general and so on. Now, what I want to ask you really is therefore, bearing that in mind, if you go to page 5808, just a few pages before, or maybe even before we go to 5808. Oh, no, let's go there, Right. Now you referred you said you had forgotten or it was something that rather became clear when this was pointed out to you. But you say there, and this is a reference to that report, subsequent to it being given to me by Mr. Kabinde a few days after the meeting, I put it in the safe. Now, what I want to know, do you know in what form it was given to you? Was it an open access, or was it in an envelope, or was it in whatever? What was, in what form was it given to you by Mr. Kabinde? If you can remember, I know it's a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. That is why even I grappled with this question the last time Adv Bao was asking me about the report, because as an chief investigator, I've had so many reports, commission reports and all pass through my hands. So I wouldn't remember exactly whether it was in an envelope or whether it was in a LIVAC file. Honestly, I don't remember.
Okay, good. Then, but you put it in the safe. But before you put it in the safe, did you read it?
No, I did not read it.
Okay. And why did you not read it?
For the same reasons that I advanced to say, when I quality assure the work of the team, I'd want to have an open mind as to what they would have sourced as evidence and utilized, so that I must not be apace with them at the level at which they were writing, when I'm now supposed to be quality assuring, I must have a sort of stand aside posture to what they've written. So that's why even in other reports, that's what I said, to say, let me not be influenced, if I'm use the word influence, at the same level, at the same time with them when we consider evidence.
Yes. Okay. And then, but you accept then that using that distinction of the minister, that, and if that answer you're saying is correct, that then you still had access, but you did not read the report. That's what you're saying.
I still maintain, yes.
Now, if you go to the email just below that, please, Tsepo. Then there are two significant issues there, Chairperson. And I'll just read them out and then ask you to comment. They now blame, start there, that's the first paragraph. And then there's the second paragraph, third paragraph. So I'm interested in the fourth paragraph and the last one. The fourth paragraph says, all officials who had access. So this time there's no reference to reading or whatever. All officials who had access to the report have top security clearance. And then the names that I put there is Rodney, I suppose that's you.
That's me, yes.
Chief of Staff, we struggle with some of these acronyms. COS is Chief of Staff, am I correct?
That is correct, I don't know.
Okay, that's for Honorable Ngola. PA is Personal Assistant. Right?
That is correct.
Actually, let's, for the members, identify those people by name. Chief of Staff would have been Mr. Nyembe.
Yes, that's correct.
PA, Mr. Kabinde.
That is correct.
And myself, quote unquote, is the public protector.
That is correct as well.
Yes. And then she inquires from Ms. Mukhaladi, Pona, do you have top secret security clearance, right? And then she mentions section 5.3 of the Public Protector Act. That's the section that says you may not be criminally held liable for work that you are doing as part of good faith work that you are doing as part of the Public Protector's Office. I'm paraphrasing, correct?
That is correct, yes.
And then I think then the important one, the last sentence regarding the earlier issue of concealment or non-concealment. The Public Protector says, I disclosed that we have the report instead of only informing that Newsweek published the report. Now, so there's a bit of an echo. Did you get that, Mr. Mataboge?
Yes, I got it. I got all of it.
Yes. So now, if, as she says, she disclosed that she have the report, in other words, she could have just said, oh, well, I just saw it on Newsweek, but she disclosed that she had the report. Does that strike you as the actions of someone who was concealing that she had seen the report?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And this communication is 20th February 2019, some 5 months before the report was released, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thanks. That's as I say, the other IGI stuff we covered with Ms. Mvian. I just wanted to deal with the issues that pertain to you. And of course, maybe for the sake of completion, we know that in the report itself, the public protector went as far as to state what the findings or recommendations of the report are. Correct?
That is correct.
Could she have done that by some magical, I don't know what process, if she had not seen the report?
No, she wouldn't have.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now, or maybe let me put it this way. If she was concealing the fact that she had seen the report, could she then, in the same breath, have stated what it says?
Come again, Adv Mpofu, I'm not getting the...
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, if she was concealing, if she was hiding the fact that she had seen the report, could she, in the same breath, in the same report, then state in detail what it recommends?
No, she wouldn't have done that.
Oh. All right. Then, okay, thank you. We're moving away then from the IGI report. There was another suggestion that, well, it was just a transparent attempt to introduce a Mr. Ngobeni into the picture, but I just want to demonstrate that that is that's obviously unsustainable. You know that there was this controversy about the IGI report and the legalities around it and so on, and that there was therefore the procurement of the services of a senior counsel. Correct?
I don't recall that.
You were referred to, okay, let me refer you. 5820. Yeah, you testified that there was, or rather, well, all right, you know that the letters SC in relation to lawyers refer to senior counsel.
Yes, now I know.
Okay, but that senior counsel, or rather, well, it was fortunately spelled out at 5820 at the bottom. Mr. Namasisi, who's the legal person, I'm sure he knows, says right at the bottom, thanks. Are we on the same page? 5820, 5820. Oh, then that means I've got the wrong page. Let's display it again, please. IT. Oh, Chair, sorry, I was saying, yeah, this is unusual.
Can I assist you, Advocate Mpofu?
Yes, please.
There is sometimes multiple of the same emails and they in a train. And so if you might find the same email in the middle. So you might have the same one, but not done differently, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No,
So it could be the same thing, but it's just, so I know in the documents, the same email might appear 10 times. And
yeah.
I may have referred him, or you may be using a different version of it to before.
All right, fine. Okay, let's do it like this then, because this is for the benefit of the members, so that they can find it when they are looking for it, not me. So we'll use the one on the screen. So that email trail basically this is an email from the PP that says legal services can get a legal opinion from SC about this matter. They now blame PPSA for not reporting receipt of the report and violating the Protection of Information Act. That's from the PP, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Now, on my configuration, that is
Sorry, Chair, through you.
Yes.
Advocate Mpofu, you're wanting to go to the SC reference that the witness, that I took the witness to. That's not this email.
no. I'll go there. I wanted to start here. I know where that one is. We'll go to it. All right. I'm just wanting to show that the reference to SC here in this thing. Legal services, can you get a legal opinion from SC? And then can you roll it up a little bit? Mine is 5818, but let's use yours as 5820. Roll it up to the other email on top from Mr. Nyembe. It starts with good day, advocates Kakan. No, it will be, I think it will be before this one. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what's happening. 5818. Okay, then we're on the same page, literally. Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, okay, now we're on the same page here. All right. Then I'm just, okay, you said you didn't know at that time, but I'm just seeing if you were emailed. Yes, you were copied on the earlier one, the one that says can get a legal opinion from SC. This was at 4:30. And then this one is about an hour later. It says, good day, Advocate Kakane, and so on. And I know you are not copied on that one, but was there any other SC that was involved in this matter other than Advocate Kakane, to your knowledge?
He hasn't said that they had knowledge of Advocate Sikakana being involved in the matter.
Okay,
Alright.
just, yeah, you were quick because I have not recognized you. Now you're having a direct interaction.
Sorry,
with
no, that's
Advocate
fine. That's fine. I understand. She's right.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Maybe let me put it this way. Okay. From the two emails that I've shown you, the one which says legal opinion from SC, and then the one an hour later referring to Advocate Sikakane, the public protector will, when she testified, confirm that the only person that had been briefed on this was Advocate Sikakane, as it seems obvious. Did you have knowledge of any other SC involved, including Advocate Sikakane?
No, I wouldn't have known because at this stage, that's where our legal services people interact and deal with the.
All right. No. Now I think I get it. So what you are saying is that in the earlier email where you are copied And Mr. Namasisi is yeah, that's the one. Mr. Namasisi is copied. That's the head of legal. And then he's addressed directly. Legal services, can you get a legal opinion from SC about this matter? For you, you did, that was not being addressed to you specifically, and you did not know who that SC is. Maybe Mr. Namasisi did know. Am I right? Mr. Mataboge, have we lost you? I think we have lost him, Chair.
It's not there. Mr. Mataboge is not there. No? Okay. Just a few minutes pause with Mpofu, and we'll get somebody to just call him so that he reconnects. It's just 2 minutes pause. Get Mpofu.
Thank you,
I don't know
Chairperson.
whoever put it there, but it's an investment.
Well, it's obvious, Chairperson. It was put by none other than Advocate Mqwebane. That will be the first question I put to her when she comes to the stand. Who put the generator? That works so well. Chair, thank you, Chair. Right, I was saying, Mr. When we were disturbed, I was saying that I wanted just for you to confirm if my understanding is correct. The email that we looked at earlier says, legal services, can you get a legal opinion from SC about this matter? And I was checking whether from your answers, even though you were copied in that letter, and this particular instruction was directed at legal services, you did not know who they were talking about.
Yes, correct.
Obviously, between the sender, that is the public protector, and legal services, they knew who they were talking about, correct?
I believe so, Adv Mpofu.
Yes. And maybe just for completion, no, that's fine. I understand. I think then Ms. Bauer's correction of me was correct. If you go to 5816, at the bottom. Yeah, the middle sentence says, we are now in the process of checking the availability of the senior counsel. Again, that's not identified and you are copied. Again, you just knew that there must be some senior counsel, but you did not know the identity. Is that am I correct in that understanding?
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct, Adv Mpofu.
Right. And then just roll it up or down or whatever. Yeah. Then again, this is like 10, 15 minutes later or 30 minutes later, let's be generous. There's another email which says, thanks, Mr. Namasisi. Advocate Moses Kakane is available to meet at 11:30 tomorrow. Okay, so you are saying you didn't make that connection.
No, this one, if I was copied, then I would have started to make the connection because I'm copied here.
Yes. Yes, in fact, yes, you are copied in both. Okay, no, that's fine. I think it's obvious now. All right, then let's go to the one that Ms. Bauer did refer you to, and that was the exact point, that she did not refer you to that one. That makes it obvious who the SC is, but she referred you to a different one that makes it look like it's debatable. Okay, if you go to 6548, then this is the one you are referring to. You are referred to, Mr. or rather, yeah, you are, it's sent to you actually, you're not just copied, by the public protector. And she says, actually, we can discuss PG today. You can indicate the time in the afternoon. And the Busasa Thursday, I get a draft to share with SC before finalizing it if necessary. And then you said, I'm also in agreement with PP of sharing Busasa's draft with SC before we finalize it, perhaps even the rogue unit one, madam. And I think your evidence was that it was a question of sharing it. You knew that SC means senior counsel. Was there any reason to believe that now there was another SC suddenly meant somebody else?
No, there wouldn't have been any reason.
Okay. All right, thanks. Anyway, that's fine. Let's leave it there. The PP will explain all this. All right. Then all right, I won't take you to it just to try and save time. You remember that exchange, I think it's at 5897. There was the exchange about where you were overwhelmed. This side, the PP wanted a report and a draft section 7.9. The other side, Ms. Baloyi wanted you to go to some meeting, and you indicated that you were caught between a rock and a hard place, I think was the heading of your email. Remember that?
I do, Adv Mpofu.
Right. Now, I want to just say something about that, because the public protector has been portrayed as some monster and dictator and all sorts of things. My understanding of that conversation, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, which you will find at 5897. It starts at 5896, and I'll paraphrase it to try and save time. Basically, you're invited to a meeting by Ms. Basani Baloyi, and then you try to say, may I be excused because the PP has got deadlines, 2 section 7.9s and the rogue unit and the Pillay appointment and all that. And then Ms. Baloyi basically tells you where to get off, to say you must just attend her meeting. I think she says, yeah, unfortunately, you have to attend the meeting as this is your matter. Your apology is not accepted, something like that. Remember that?
I do, Adv Mpofu.
Okay, then you write to the CEO, this is the rock and hard place email, to say that you are now caught between instructions from different people, I suppose all of whom are senior to you, correct?
That is correct.
Right. And the public protector basically says, resolves the issue by saying, Rodney, this is at right at the top here. Rodney, attend the COO meeting. I will get the 3 tasks as soon as you are done. Send me the drafts of the Pillay report, the section 7.9. In other words, she almost gives in to say, well, go to their meeting. I know you are now caught between a rock and a hard place, but you should rather go to prioritize them, as it were. And my question is really, is that the sign of a leader who's a dictator?
No, it's not. And then with how I felt at the time, I thought that you would protect me in that instance.
Yes, thanks. So you expected her to protect you, or to say, no, come to my meeting, I'm the public protector here.
Something like that, especially because, if I may explain a bit, since the team I led, had to hold these complex cases reporting directly to PPP, or sometimes, we're being perceived as the, I wouldn't call it the blue-eyed boys or the blue-eyed team, but as the special team. And that would not augur well or sit well with some people in the office. So that is why now I was saying protection was somehow needed to direct me going forward, as well as my team.
Yes. And to be fair, you were handling very sensitive, what one might call special reports. Busasa, Rogue Unit, and Pillay were some of the more complex matters, correct?
That is correct.
So, as I say, so sorry, I'm sure she will apologize for disappointing you, but that's why you thought she would come to your rescue to say, and tell these other people where to get off.
Yes, because I knew their motive. They were just trying to say to me, you're under us and come here.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, so oops. All right. That sorted IT? Okay, thanks. Let me do this then so that we then get out of this before tea time, get out of the rogue unit matter. I'm going to try and I'm going to propose some shortcut of how we deal with this. Otherwise, we have to go through the painful exercise like we did with Ms. Mbuyana. Can I refer you to, I'll refer you to two pieces of evidence, which, if I get to that, but if I don't, before tea, I'll refer you to one. If you go to 6072, yes. This is an affidavit. Okay, this is sent to you and Ms. Mukhaladi by the Public Protector on the 7th of December 2018, correct?
That is correct.
And it incorporates an affidavit which is too long, 135-page affidavit of Mr. Lucas Luther Libello, submitted to before the Commissioner, retired Judge Nugent. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And I proposed to the members that if anyone wants to understand blow by blow the whole rogue Unix saga, apart from reading that 66-page document, that they should read this affidavit. Would you agree?
I would rather not comment on that.
Okay, let me put it this way. In your assessment of that affidavit, was it
Chief,
giving?
Can we ascertain? Sorry, Advocate.
Sorry.
Yes, Advocate Power.
I don't know that the witnesses testified that he read it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. This long affidavit, which was sent to you by the Public Protector, you read. Did you read it?
No, I gave it to the investigator, Ms. Mbuyana.
Okay.
Not so much, yes.
All right. Okay, no, that's fine. She testified that she read it, yeah. All right, no, that's fine. Anyway.
Sorry, Advocate Mpofu, that's not correct. She said she was not given it. That was the evidence.
Well, okay, the record will say whatever it says here. But okay, let me, then I'll take you through it now. No, not all 135 pages of it, I can assure you. I'll just, I'll read out the topics, yeah. And then I'll ask you the question afterwards. That affidavit, the Public Protector definitely received it and she read it, and so it's going to come in, but that's in the future. But for what it's worth now, I'll just take you through it. If we can walk through it step fast. It says, effectively, paragraph 6. He says, on 27, 28 September, I appeared before the above commission, that would be the Nugent Commission, wherein I presented oral evidence. Subsequent thereto, I sought and obtained legal advice, and I was advised to submit further evidence by way of a sworn statement, which I did on 21 October 2018. when I appeared before the commission, in addition to such one statement on 21 October 2018, I also presented oral evidence. Then he says, I note with concern that the affidavit's presentations and any form of evidence presented by persons who appeared before the commission have been uploaded on the website. For whatever reason, my affidavit is still not uploaded, and so on. Okay. But he then goes on into the details which you would be familiar with. It talks about the terms of reference of that commission, I suppose. Then go to page 6086. 6086, paragraph 31. 31, yeah, that one, yeah, right there. Okay, I won't go into detail here. So here he deals with the Sikakane panel outcome and the appointment of Mr. Moyane. You are familiar with the Sikakane panel, Mr. Mataboge, and it was relevant to the rogue unit report, correct?
Yes, correct.
Then next one, he says clarity on different investigations and their roles. Sorry, that is paragraph 35. Then it deals with the Sikakane panel report, 36, paragraph 36. Deals with Martin Brassi investigation, 39. KPMG investigation, 42. Findings of Brassi, and so on. Those are some of the documents referred to in the so-called rogue unit report, correct?
That is correct.
Then go to paragraph 52. It deals in detail with Mr. Pillay, the unlawful and illegal establishment of the unit, also known as rogue unit, right? Then it goes into the provisions of it goes into the Trevor Manuel memorandum. Just carry on, Tsepo. I'm just skimming through. Next one, where are we now? 1698. Yeah, it deals with the act. It is misrepresentation to the minister by Mr. Pillay. Just notably, paragraph 69. It says here, the unit's management, that is Mr. Pillay, Mr. van Lochenberg, Mr. Richa, Mr. Andries Janse van Rensberg, and Mr. Johan de Waal, have all worked in NIA before joining equally without any tax experience. You see that?
I see it, yes.
Yeah. In other words, well, no, that's fine. We'll leave that to the public protector. Then it goes to the PFMA, covert spying on current and former SARS employees, engagement of informers, Project Sunday evening. Am I moving too fast for you, Tsepo? Okay. I'm now at 6111. It deals with the facade disbandment of the unit. That's 100. Yeah. Then after that, the next heading, I'm just doing the headings there. Maladministration regarding the unlawful and irregular conduct of Mr. Pillay. Next one, purchase of unlawful and illegal covert spying equipment. Illegal and unlawful acquisition for covert operations, equipment from the American Embassy, acquisition or purchasing or an attempt to purchase DNA tracker data processing equipment, Pillay resignation and this 18-month stint. Mr. Johan van Lochenberg is the next heading. And then talks about the existence of a prima facie case of misconduct against Mr. Johan van Lochenberg. That's 128. Yeah. And then allegation that the relationship between Mr. Lochenberg and Ms. Walter, the alleged girlfriend, created a conflict of interest. Next one, allegations pertaining to the unlawful disclosure of SARS confidential information. Next one, interference with Ms. Walter's tax affairs by Mr. van Lochenberg. Next one, this is a so-called a charity organization formed by Mr. van Lochenberg called Wachizungu Sawa Sawa, in which some monies were was investigating. No, sorry, let me not misrepresent. Says, I think it's 150. In other words, it would seem the companies and individuals from Mr. Lochenberg was investigating and even prosecuting donated to his charity organization, which is outright conflictual, if not illegal. In this regard, the employer and the Brassy panel had a view that by accepting the donations, Lochenberg placed himself in a position in which he may appear to be influenced and compromised. The SARS and the Brassy panel is in possession of a list of the donors. I think that was the allegation. Next one is the allegations that Lochenberg had disclosed information to the media on SARS affairs and shared SARS confidential information without authorization. Okay. And so it goes. I think it's just it's too long. It's 135 pages. I think from the headings that I've read to you, would you agree that this deals in depth with some of the issues that you had to deal with regarding the so-called rogue unit?
That is correct.
All right. That's fine. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. Right. Then the last point is, oops, sorry. $5825. Oh no, sorry. Okay, let's just go to 5825. Okay, you're not copied on this, so maybe you were not aware of it, but let me just, I'll raise it anyway with you. There's something that's, it's dear Mr. Sianejo, it's from Mr. Namasisi, so it's a legal thing. And then he says, kindly confirm is you have probably that you have a letter and legal opinion from the counsel. Then please also advise senior counsel that Mr. Shivambu attach the report in question in the equality court. This means that the report in question is now a public document. Okay, so this is right. I was saying that this is a reference to the equality court matter, which equality court is just is in the high court, but this particular one was in the high court. It can also be in the magistrate court. This was a case before Judge Sutherland. And you may not know those kinds of details, but were you aware that the report had been discussed in the public domain as having been disclosed in some court papers?
No, I was not aware of it.
Okay. All right, then I'll just refer to it just for the sake of the members, but we'll deal with it when the public protector.
Chair, the witness says he's not
Okay.
aware of it, and no advocates office going to take him to it again. A judgment is a judgment.
Yeah, but so what? You read judgments for hours and hours here, and
As you did too. As
Yeah,
recently as yesterday.
okay.
so
The point is the
in that
witness
case,
doesn't
then it's
know
fine.
the judgment.
pardon?
The witness has testified he wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, so
Is there going to be a question emanating from it of a
Yes,
judgment that he
I'm
doesn't
saying
know
I'm
about?
going to refer it to reference for the members so that when we come to it with the public protector, what's the problem? You don't want the truth to come out?
No, I'm looking at time, Advocate Mpofu.
No,
Chair.
don't worry. I've
No,
got
it's not
until
a fault.
2
She's
o'clock.
not the chairperson. What is this?
Thank you, Advocate Mpofu. You have not been recognized.
Can you please recognize me, Chair?
You have not been recognized. You're going to raise your hand and then you are recognized. You've not been recognized and you're not going to do that.
Chair, please recognize me.
You're going to raise your hand and you're going to be recognized.
Chair, please recognize me. My hand is up.
Now your hand is up. I can recognize you. What is the point of order?
You must relax when I share. Yes, you'll have palpitations for nothing. Chair, I'm saying Advocate Law is extremely out of order.
What is the point of order? What palpitation are you talking about?
I'm saying you must listen. Learn to listen, Chairperson. Mamela, I'm saying to you, Advocate Bauer is extremely out of order, and I don't understand why you are allowing her to do this to Advocate Mpofu. When she was leading the evidence, no one interjected her, no one complained about her long speeches and everything else. You must allow Advocate Mpofu to go through this uninterrupted. Chair, why are we allowing it? Please.
Thank you, Honorable Mautwe. Your point of order is not sustained. I'm here as a chair and I was in the middle of this issue. Perhaps we can welcome you back to the inquiry, but the point of order is not sustained.
My apologies, Chair. I couldn't attend on Tuesday because you were
attend to this. I think
sorry, Chair.
you are done now. What are you doing?
I was saying I apologize for not attending on Tuesday because we had a media launch of our 10th anniversary of the EFF. That will take place 10th of July. So I apologize for not having informed.
No, I was not speaking about Tuesdays. Let's not go there, please, Honorable Mautwe. I was just welcoming you back to the inquiry. Thank you. For Advocate Mpofu's protection, I did indicate earlier that she needs to speak after being recognized, Advocate Bauer, but the two of you then got into this and I decided to just step back.
No, thank you, Chair. No, you're right. We were all.
And you seem to have managed yourself, both of you. So please.
Apologize.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We were all out of order.
Please go ahead.
So, thanks, Chair. But it has resolved itself.
Sure.
Yeah. And just to make it clear, I was just referencing this for, as I say, for the witness has answered as he wants. So I was referencing it for later reference, the public protector. And I think we've clarified that. Okay, let's not waste more time on this. But bundle H, I don't know what page. Item 31, number 31.5.1.
Page 465, I'll help you.
Page 465. Thank you. Yeah. All right. That's the judgment. This was a matter between Pravin Chamnadas Godan and Julia Selomalema and Freedom of Expression Institute. It was to do with some alleged defamation of Mr. Godan, which, I won't repeat what was said there in case I'm accused of the same defamation. The point here is the only relevant thing for this commission is the reference to the IGI report, which was let's start at paragraph 24. Right. It says that this stance, that's the stance about whether the report. Oh, by the way, interestingly, what was being suggested is that anyone who has attached the report or read it, as threatened against the public protector, thereby was committing an offense. And I think one of the members said something to that effect, which would have meant that anybody who had read those court papers, including the judge, should have been taken to jail. But anyway, it says this stance provoked an application to strike out these inclusions on principally the grounds that they were irrelevant. The three inclusions were the report of the IGI of 31 October 2014, the IGI report, so that's our report, and the report on the Commission on the Cabal of 14 March 1990, that's a report from O.R. Tambo about the Cabal, the UDF Cabal. And then the Sikakane report. And then of these reports, the IGI report stood in a distinctive category in that it was a document admittedly classified secret that had been allegedly improperly leaked into the public domain. And then, okay, let's jump. To paragraph 29. Then the judge concludes as follows. A reading of the report and the minister's rationale for excluding it from the public domain reveal that the rationale is wholly unfounded. The burden of the minister's perspective is that agents of the security agencies may be compromised, which is interesting because if this is not an intelligence thing, then I don't know why agents may be compromised. But anyway, that's me. So no agents' identities are disclosed. The persons described are not secret operatives in the list. Moreover, at the time the document was attached to Shivambu's affidavit, the document was already in the public domain and had been the subject of media reports, and confidentiality claimed for the document is futile. And I'm just saying that whether you were aware or not of the particular judgment, this was the most secret document because it was out there, and the judge ruled as I explained this, but that will be dealt with by the public protector. But do you understand the thrust of what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, Adv Mpofu, I do.
Thank you. All right. Now, I tell you, I don't know. Now I'm going to be as guilty as Ms. Bauer of staying with this rogue unit, even when I'm trying to get out of it. Let me do it like this just to save time. If you go to the report, I had intended to take you to the report itself and take you to the parts that Ms. Mviane had not confirmed. But I'll just do it in the broadest possible way. And I was just going to focus on one thing because we spoke with Mr. Mviana about the establishment, the operations, the intelligence, the jammers and all that. So I was going to just take you to the specific issue of the HR, or let's call it a recruitment issue, just so that we don't cover the same ground. So can we go very quickly to 6498, Tsepo? And this is, I'm just referring you to one of your drafts, I think, and the reason for that will be clear. 6498. Now, I know that you are not the principal drafter, but these drafts would have gone through your hands at some point or another, correct?
Correct, Adv Mpofu.
All right. Now, I'm really just going to do this very quickly because I want to move to Pillay now. So let's just take that. As I've said here, the findings were many, but even one of them would have been enough. Yeah. Let's quickly go to 6498. All right. If you remember this has to do with the issue of regarding whether SARS failed to follow proper recruitment processes in appointing employees who worked for the intelligence unit, and if so, whether such conduct constitutes maladministration. I'm just going to try and demonstrate cryptically some of the information I would have gone through with you in detail. Are you aware of 5.4.4.1, separate, please? Point 1. Just one before that. Yeah. Right. You're aware of the memorandum which was sent to Mr. Pillay and Ravele in August 2002 regarding the recruitment of personnel for the so-called unit?
Yes, I'm aware.
Right. And then I think Ms. Mviana went through this. Go to whilst posts were not advertised. Further down. Whilst process. Yeah. Okay, I read this out for her. But okay, I'll paraphrase. So essentially there was an admission that the normal, what they call the conventional procedures for recruitment in SARS were not followed. Correct?
That is correct.
Then go to that table of names, Tsepo. Again, I won't go into detail, but some of those people there were clearly people with intelligence backgrounds, whether in the defense force or secret service and all that. Correct?
That is correct.
And then at 5.4.3, it's made clear that Mr. Godan had given the approval for the appointment of these people, subject to a discussion with Ivan and so on. But he gave the approval, correct?
It is correct.
Right. Okay, I'm just skimming through if you work with me. Then this is the part I want to go to 5.4.9. So these were some of the people then who had been hired. Maybe illegal is a bit much, in a method that did not comply with those prescripts, which amounted to maladministration in your findings, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, and again, I won't go through the detail, Chair, for the sake of time, but I just want to show you the kinds of monies that we're talking about. So the salary of and I'm assuming that these are monthly salaries, but we will establish that. The salaries of these people range from 950,000, 630, 600,000, and then the lowest is 285,000. See?
Sorry, Advocate
The
Mpofu.
names. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, don't show the names, please. So,
Taken pictures already, you're late.
yeah. Okay, I see it has been captured. Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about.
Chair, it's a draft, it wasn't. Chair, can I ask where it says that it's monthly salaries?
No, you can just ask yourself. If you, maybe this weekly salaries, then I think it's obvious that it's these are not. We'll,
Advocate Mpofu,
okay.
I'm asking a question because it's not on the
all
document.
right.
So
May,
you're either testifying or
no.
you have it on the document.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mataboge.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, those salaries that are listed on the right-hand side, are they daily salaries, weekly salaries, annual salaries, monthly salaries, fortnightly salaries?
We understood them to be per annum, which is annual salaries.
Yes, but no, the salaries that are listed, I'm saying, are they? I know I'm actually coming to the per annum thing, which is the times 12. But if somebody was earning, okay, I don't want to go to the names again. Let's go to the last one. Someone gets like 285,000, and another one gets 310. Well, did you understand those to be? Well, if it's 285, it means that they're earning like 10,000 or something. Were those? Did you understand those to be monthly or weekly or annual salaries?
We understood them to be annual salaries.
All right, that's fine. We'll bring evidence about that. Okay, that's fine. But anyway, the point I really wanted to make is this: if you add up those salaries, it comes to, okay, no, go to the next one, the next table at 5.4.10. You have a similar table, 5.4.10, Tsapo, without the names. Right. This one starts at 400,000, let's say, per annum, for the purposes of this exercise. It's not very important. 530, 384,000, 410,000, the next person, 235,000, the next one, 600,000, the other one, 530,000, the next one, 235,000, the next one, 470,000, 235, last one, 500,000. We would agree that that's a lot of money in total, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, in fact, with my limited skills, it's anything between 4 to 5 million rand, even if you exclude the first group of people. Correct?
I wouldn't know that. I'm not that quick with
Okay.
my math and arithmetic.
Yeah, not a maths whiz kid like me. Okay. All right, but you can take my word that it's about between 4 and 5 million. That's just the second batch here. The first batch I didn't calculate, and my skills don't extend to it. Yeah, I think it's probably another 4 million. Okay, anyway, whatever the amount is, this was a lot of money that was the subject of what you found to be irregular recruitment practices, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And then what's important here, Chairperson, is then your findings, which you'll find at 5.4.10.1, or rather the basis of your findings. And my question, I can tell you now at the end, is going to be whether there was any, under these circumstances, any basis to find otherwise. Yeah. But let's go through what you then, having tabulated those large amounts of money, you then say, SARS failed to provide me, and me here is you and the public protector and Ms. Mviane and everyone. SARS failed to provide me with copies of the advertisement for the post, shortlisting and interview documentation for the above mentioned employees. SARS did, however, provide me with a spreadsheet of all advertised posts beginning from January 2006 to 2007. Now, when you say SARS failed to provide you with necessary documentation to justify the spend on this lot of money, is it because you asked for such? Because it would be unfair.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It would be unfair to say they failed to give you the documents if you didn't ask for them. Okay, that's fine. Then the employment agreements for special agent stated in paragraph 2 that the employee shall serve the employer as special agent in such place from time to time directed by the employer and so on. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, let's jump the next one and the next one because it has people's names. Then it says further evidence submitted indicates that Mr. van Lochenberg applied for employment at SARS on 13 January 1999 for the position of assistant director. He was appointed as head of the special operations on 15th, 2007. And here's the important one. SARS failed to provide CVs and recruitment documents pertaining to the appointment of all employees of the intelligence unit. Again, had you requisitioned or asked for such information?
Yes.
Now, then comes my question. Oh no, sorry, let's go to 5.4.25. No, 5.4.26. SARS failed to provide me with a policy that applied to the relevant period regulating the transfer of staff within the branches. SARS furthermore failed to provide me with a policy regulating headhunting of staff for positions at SARS. The failure to advertise positions externally is a violation of section 8.3.2 of the SARS recruitment and selection policy. The denial of Mr. Godan in his participation in the recruitment process of one or more of the unit's employees is unlikely. The Skakane report and the Jean Ravelli dossier confirm that Mr. Godan played a role in the recruitment of Mr. van Lochenberg. Two questions. The first one is, what is the standard question I've asked you? Those documents that you say SARS failed to provide you, or the policies, and the one that was breached, is are those documents you had asked for?
Yes, because when we write what we call an inquiry letter or document request letter, we list all of the things that we want to assess the complaint against, as well as the allegation against, policies, HR personnel records, and so forth.
Yeah. And so, okay, now then the question I said I was going to ask you, given those facts that we've summarized now, would it have been possible to find anything other than the fact that the recruitment policies were breached, given these facts that we've just gone through?
No, there would not have been any other option but to make that finding.
And also given the amounts of money involved, the large sums of money that we have spoken about, correct?
That is correct.
All right, thank you.
On that point.
Yes, well, your timing is perfect, Chairperson. If that is time for the break, then
It is.
I'm done with the rogue unit anyway. So when we come back after Mr. Mataboge will deal with the PLA report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We'll take a 10-minute break. We'll be back at 11 minutes, 10 minutes past 11. Thank you.